Welcome back to Fifth Gear, where it's time for a new feature, with all four of us testing a brand new car at the same time.
So, let the arguments begin.
We're at Fifth Gear's high-tech testing facility, and today we're putting BMW's new mid-sized 4x4, the X3, through its paces.
Instantly, I'm annoyed. Because, look, this is a brand new car. It's all got moisture inside there. What's going on?
It doesn't feel premium and special, and let's not forget this is a 30 grand car.
At the start of this, I thought that the X3 was very much a poor man's X5.
Yeah.
And I immediately would always buy a second-hand X5 rather than a new one of these.
Yeah.
End of.
It's just a bit dull. To be honest, it's a disappointment from BMW. But the leather was plasticky, the dashboard's boring, old.
Now this I've got issues with across the BMW board.
What's wrong with
The
that?
shape of the gear stick.
It fits your palm beautifully. It's ergonomic.
I had a joystick for my Commodore 64 like that in about 1989.
It's not a looker, but it's a great driver. We drove it on an alpine hill route, which is a really challenging part of the road. Lots of off-cambers, lots of, blind crests, great piece of tarmac. And, we drove it in the style that BMW should be driven in.
It's late in on the
it's
race
late.
now.
How you got away with that?
My arm was spasming from grabbing the handle so hard.
You just concentrate. I don't want to be kissing those silver birches anytime soon.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, I think they are. Dutch elm. Could be Dutch elm. Oh, sugar plum fairy, watch out.
He was hammering it into the corners and it was gripping. And the amazing thing was there's very little interruption from the anti-skid control systems that showed how well the basic chassis was doing.
Oh, yeah, handles. Nice grab handle.
Yeah, good grab handle.
That 2-litre diesel and that 8-speed auto gearbox, both a really, really creamy combination. Very impressive and really, really economical.
And the speed you were driving, the lack of body roll, you don't feel like you're going that fast, amazingly. No. It's not uncomfortable being a passenger at high speed.
No.
Plato drove the wheel bearings off that thing today.
Whoa, he's fighting it now. That's fine. All right.
And we jumped it, obviously, which is what you're going to do if you're a mum taking your kids to school in an X3.
Oh, you fighter! That was great. Can we do it again? Yes, I believe we had some air. A foot of it.
I didn't realise it was capable of that.
Oh my gosh! I had to shut my eyes.
I'd say all the special electronics kicked in and jumped on the brakes, yeah.
It didn't feel like a cumbersome four-wheel drive at all. It did feel sort of quite agile and quite sporty, which surprised me.
Do you know, this weighs like 25 kilos less than the last X3.
Jonny, you're boring me.
Do you know what I'm saying, Orange?
That was a mint comment. Do you know, this is true, no?
Well, I just thought I think my nose is bleeding after that.
So, after initial reservations about looks and build quality, a drive in the car turned around most of our opinions, though Jonny's score out of 10 reflected his concerns over value for money.
I'm going to give the X3 a 6.
And the score for the BMW X3, a solid 8.
Score for the X3 from me?
BMW scores an 8 for its drive and a 6 for the rest.
That's an average of 7 then, JP, giving the BMW a score of 29 out of 40 for our first ever team test. And if you want more info on the BMW and its rivals, head to our website channel5.com/fifthgear.
Right, now it's time for Jonny, with the sort of thing that's typically Jonny.
An old banger with an aeroplane engine. Whatever next.
In the last couple of years, I've managed to hitch rides in two of the most incredible cars on Earth. First, Andy Frost's Red Victor 1, a 1972 Vauxhall Victor which hit 189 miles an hour in 8 seconds and cracked 0 to 60 in 1 second. Then last year, I met up with Yorkshireman John Sleeth and his Audi Coupe, another street-legal car that happens to have over 2,000 horsepower under the bonnet. There's something deeply fascinating about a bloke that spends years beavering away in a lockup, quietly creating the ultimate masterpiece vehicle. Because at the end of the day, even if they had £1 million to spend on a supercar, it just wouldn't hit the sweet spot. Take this man, for example. His name's Charlie Broomfield, and he's got a Rover SD1. And what makes Charlie's car so special? Well, I'll let him start it up because that could give you a clue.
If you're around in the early 1940s, you might recognise that sound. That's because under that bonnet is a 27-litre Merlin V12 engine from a tank. It's the same engine that was used in a lot of World War II aircraft like the Lancaster bomber and the Spitfire.
During the 1930s and 40s, more than 170,000 Merlin engines were produced for all types of military vehicles, including the fighter planes that led us to victory in the Battle of Britain. So what happens when you stick a Spitfire engine in an old Rover? Well, I'm about to find out. Such an amazing delivery of power. I've never been in a vehicle so low geared, so low revving.
Yeah.
We're really chucking it into corners and it's actually pretty stable.
Not bad, is it?
I love the fact that it's got air conditioning, electric windows.
Yeah, let's see if that's...
Oh, there it is. He's just put the AC on.
That cold?
Yeah, it is cold. Yeah. It's drying my eyes out, yeah. He bought the engine from a military breakers yard, setting him back just £1,000. And because it's a pre-2001 car, the tax is only 205 quid a year. Does it actually owe you very much money?
No, not really. I bet it's less than 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
Is the car finished now? Is that it? Is it done?
It'll never be finished. I'll be finished before it is.
Really?
Yeah, I reckon.
Charlie's biggest problem has been making the car go fast. You see, despite having way more torque than a Bugatti Veyron, the engine's rev limit of around 3,000 RPM would give a measly 50-mile-an-hour top speed through the standard car's gearbox. To overcome this dilemma, genius engineer Charlie has developed a system using a gearbox from an old Leyland bus. What that does is multiplies the RPM from the engine 3 times onto the back axle, which means you can travel really fast but with very low RPM. So far, Charlie's had his Rover up to a slightly worrying 120 miles an hour. Today's mission, however, is to go faster, much faster. Who knows, above 120 miles an hour, this thing could take off.
Wheel spin, a lot. We're doing 70 already, we're doing 80 already, we're doing 90 already. 1,550 pounds-feet, V12, 27 litre. We would have been on this runway in an aeroplane with this engine, and it will be taking off around about now, but we're staying on the ground, I hope. At 1,500 RPM, it's doing 120. We're now doing 128 miles an hour, 135 miles an hour, 139, 40, 145, wow, 147, 49, just under 2,000, 150 now. 150, 151, 152, 153, 154, 155, 157, 158, 159, 160, 161, 162. I can smell your brake pads.
Yeah, I'll bet you can. I can.
That's really good.
Thanks very much.
That is great.
It's been a pleasure.
It felt like a miracle, but Charlie's not stopping there. He's aiming to hit 200 miles an hour in the next 12 months. And the only place in Europe where this is possible? A runway in Germany. Charlie, you're a ruddy hero.
Next time on Fifth Gear, Tiff's in Lapland, experiencing a track day like no other.
This is totally mad!
Vicki drives a very special £100,000 version of the BMW X3. And I fill the mountains with the sound of Aston Martin's brand new V12 supercar.
And here's a reminder of our competition where you could win this stunning 2003 Audi TT, £1,000 worth of petrol and £1,000 towards your insurance, courtesy of elephant.co.uk. For your chance to win, just answer this question correctly. Which of the following was a famous World War II bomber aircraft? Was it A, Manchester, B, Lancaster, C, Doncaster? Lines close at midday on Friday the 15th of April and 3 days later for postal entries. Good luck.
And you can catch that Lapland Lap with Tiff next Friday here on Channel 5 as the new series continues at 7:30. Next this morning, we go gadgety.